can this new beauty beat out my holy grail matte bronzer, the Marc Jacobs Tantric? Just wait and see. Hello everyone and welcome to Zagami Beauty. My name is Krisha. So before we get started, I just wanted to invite you guys to subscribe to my channel and join me in future videos that I'll be doing regarding beauty and health and anything else that might interest me that week or that day. Also join me on Instagram at Zagami Beauty. I do go over a lot of things kind of more instantly in terms of anything I've purchased, anything that's coming out. So that's a fun place as well. Okay, so today, we're going to be doing a quick demo, a quick review, and comparison as well at the end between my holy grail matte bronzer, the Marc Jacobs Omega in Tantric, which I've used pretty much in every single video, and I just love it to death. I'm sorry if it's, if it's just too much love, but I can't. It's just a beautiful product, and I can't be without it. But I also just purchased the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer, which just came out last week, and I got it during the early access, so it did come in so super fast. And I do have to say, like, I am so impressed with Charlotte Tilbury, ordering from her directly online. The shipping is just incredibly fast. If you order at some point in the late morning, or even like sometimes even the early afternoon, you'll get the product in 2 days or less than 2 days. So I ordered it on Wednesday, sometime I think it was early afternoon, and I got it by Friday late morning. Amazing, amazing. It's packaged really nicely. It's still compact, but it's still really beautifully presented. You get some samples. It's just amazing. It's free shipping no matter what you get. Like, no matter what you purchase from her online directly, it's free shipping. So I do live in Canada. The price for this bronzer, and it came in this beautiful packaging like so, and the price for it was $65 Canadian for 16 grams of product. So it's quite large. And Marc Jacobs, his bronzers, whether it's this one or the coconut bronzer, when you compare the Charlotte Tilbury one, very similar. So it has that flatness to it where the product is sort of spread out more onto a larger surface area, which is amazing. I want bronzers that have that, because then you can really get a nice big brush and evenly coat it and not have to worry about, going into a really small pan and then trying to kind of like, work around or whatnot. Literally this, you can just like dip it easily and you get a lot of nice product evenly diffused on the brush. Amazing. Love this style. I'm glad she went with that. She also did it so that it's refillable. You can just push out the empty pan afterwards, which I don't even know. This will take you forever. Like, I don't even know. You'd have to be using it every single day, and I'm not even sure if you could finish it in a year. I really don't. I mean, 16 grams, that's a lot of product. So, but if you do finish it, of course, you can just replace it, which is nice. It's more environmentally sustainable in that sense, where you're not throwing out the beautiful compact. And that's really why I think she went with such a beautiful compact. I mean, she did not skimp out on this. It is plastic, but it has a beautiful mirror. It has sort of a magnetic closure to it. Very easy to open because it's sort of like a seashell. I love it. And it just kind of opens with a little divot that you can put your finger in and easily open it. And it's just beautiful. It's really, really beautifully designed. Fingerprints, of course, might get on it a little bit, but nothing crazy. And it's gold, so it's not as obvious as if it was silver. Has that Art Deco design, which I think is so beautiful on the vanity. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it aesthetically. So we are going to do a demo and just kind of go over with how it applies and just kind of get a feel for the formula as well. When I swatched it, very similar to the Marc Jacobs, maybe a slight sheen to it, which I didn't think so initially, but then when I took it to the window to take some pictures for my Instagram post, I did notice a slight sheen to it. Before I talk too much, again, I think I went over the price. I think I went over most of the important facts, and let's just get straight into the demo. Okay, so I have most of my makeup down, the base, the eyes. We're just gonna go in and finish off the face makeup, and then of course try out the two bronzers. We'll do the Marc Jacobs on this side, the Omega and Tantric, and then the new Charlotte Tilbury on this side. So let's go in with my sort of contour product, which is of course again Marc Jacobs, a different one. This is gonna be the Coconut Bronzer, Omega Bronze Coconut in Tantalize, and this I sort of use as a contour product. So I'm just gonna kind of go in and semi-contour. Next, we're going to go with the cream bronzer, and that's going to be the Chanel Tan de Soleil, and that's the original version, of course. Okay, this is nothing new, so I'm not really talking through it. I will link actually a tutorial where I use these products and kind of go over how I use them and how I layer the powders and the creams and so forth. Next, we're going to use the Bloom palette for the blush and highlight, and that's from Natasha Denona. This is not the Love palette. This is the one that came out before it, which is a little bit darker, but I think it's okay if we're going a little bit crazy with the bronze. So we're going to go lightly. Oh, they're both creams. There's two creams. I totally forgot. Oh, okay. We're going to use the lighter one, so we are going to use that one. It's been a while since I've used this palette, so I thought I would bring it out, as I love two-layer cream blush and then powder blush on top. That these palettes are just perfect for that. I will put a little bit of that stronger color as well, just a touch. Okay, so always a little bit on my nose, temples, chin, just kind of everywhere. Okay, we'll probably do a little bit of the powder blush on top, and we're just gonna stamp it on. Okay, that's pretty, and it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a little bit more of a coral look, like to go super bronzy, because I want to be putting a lot of bronzer on. I want to get a full feel for it. So I wanted my cheeks to be a little bit brighter, sort of like that sun-kissed, almost like a burnt look. Skin is not burning from this effect. We're just gonna fake it. Okay, and again, your nose gets a little bit red when you are in the sun, so that's good. Then we're going to go and highlight. And I do like to highlight before bronze, and then sometimes I put a little bit of extra on top. It's not a very dramatic highlighter, but that's okay. It's a bit on the darker side for my skin, so it's not giving me a ton of pop, but it's still giving me a nice glow. Perfect. Now the moment of truth, the two bronzers. Okay, so I'm going to go in first with my Marc Jacobs. I know what to expect, so I'm just going to go in with that first, and then we'll leave the new bronzer for the second application. So I just go in and I go over basically in that 3 shape, and that just kind of fills in the gaps, as I like to say. So again, it gives you that warmth at the end, plus it fills in any of those gaps in your makeup that maybe, you know, weren't filled in by the blush, because for whatever reason here you don't have a ton of blush going too low. I might go a little bit heavier just so we get a full feel for it. I'm gonna actually give myself a little bit more light there. Perfect. Okay, now I need to grab the other bronzer. Moment of truth, this beautiful palette. I can't get over it. Like, I can't. It's so beautiful. So I do get quite a bit of product on there, and nothing's really tapping off, so let's just go in. Okay, right off the bat, it's definitely more pigmented and definitely a touch even warmer than the Marc Jacobs one. I really like it. Yeah, it's definitely warmer and definitely more pigmented, so I have to be a little bit more careful. Just a touch. But I really love it. Okay, I really, really love it. So the Marc Jacobs, very similar. They are going to be very, very similar overall effects. They're both quite matte. They're both warm toned. They both have that really, really smooth texture to them. Very, very like almost silky. It's not super powdery. It's just very, very silky, very, very thin, but not chalky. It's really a nice texture to work with because it mimics, I feel, the look and texture of skin, or at least it doesn't cover your own texture. It just sort of gives you the color, but it doesn't create any other sort of layer of anything on top, really. So I love it. I love it. I think it's very similar. I, you know, will give you my final thoughts. I'm going to obviously put down my hair and finish my hair. I'm going to go to my other bathroom and just kind of give you guys my final thoughts after I look at it there. Let's do a quick lip. And actually, I'm going to go fix my hair and then we'll come back and I'll have my lip on. Okay, see you guys in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So I just put on a quick lip. This is the MAC Sweet Sakura in a cream sheen formula. Slightly corally, but still on the ready side, and I think it just really works with the bronzy look. So, final thoughts. I think it's beautiful. I think the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer is a lovely formula. It's essentially very similar to the Marc Jacobs, slightly more pigmented in terms of color. They're both warm. They're both kind of goldeny. The only thing is I think the Charlotte Tilbury one has a slight more yellowy undertone to it, whereas the Marc Jacobs is slightly more orangey undertone to it. So that might make a difference, but unless you swatch them on your skin, it's really hard to say how that's going to appear for you. But if you know you like more yellow toned bronzers, then maybe just the Charlotte Tilbury is the way to go. That being said, they both go on very smooth. They're both matte and I love them both and I'll be using them both. You don't need both. If you already have the Marc Jacobs in Tantric, you really don't need to run out and get this if you're expecting something extremely, extremely different. Of course, if you're a makeup collector and you love makeup just as much as so many of us do, then yeah, by all means, of course, it's a beautiful product. But for me to say that they're different enough, I really don't think so. I think if I got this one and I didn't know about this one, I would just really, really love this one just as much. The Marc Jacobs one also is getting a little bit harder to find for some reason in this original formula. It's available in a kit on the Sephora website, but it's not available on its own. So again, unless you want to buy the $90 kit with it in it and a lip gloss and I think another illuminator, you may not want to go that route. So yeah, so if you already have it, that's one thing, but it may not be easy to get if you don't have it. Price-wise, they're both the same. So if this was sold separately, it'd be $65 Canadian, and this is also $65 Canadian. 16 grams of products, this has 25 grams of products. So still a better deal in terms of you get essentially almost 10 grams more of product. So that being said, I love them both and I recommend them both, and it's almost just a matter of pricing it out. Maybe aesthetics wise, maybe someone likes this aesthetic better, which is that Art Deco-y kind of a little bit more feminine aesthetic, whereas the Marc Jacobs is a little bit more modern, a little bit more sleek aesthetic. Just depends, maybe you want one or the other on your vanity, you know, like it totally depends on that. But either way, 5 out of 5 for the Charlotte Tilbury, and of course my holy grail Marc Jacobs is always going to be top for me as well. So I love them both. And ingredients wise too, quickly I wanted to say they're both very similar, both talc based. You do get some mica in this one, and you do get some hyaluronate in this one, which is sort of like a skincare ingredient that helps to retain moisture in the skin. But I wouldn't count it, obviously. It's nice to have it in your makeup, but not anything that would replace skincare, of course. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. I hope that does help. Otherwise, happy shopping. I hope, if you guys do pick this up, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And again, I'm going to keep using it and hopefully give you some more thoughts by the end of the month. Maybe it'll end up in my favorites. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Again, don't forget to subscribe before you go. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.